Of the university. Most of you don't know what a business is. A business is money in. A business is nothing else but money in. It's not money out. It's not your accountant. It's not your logo. It's not your website. A business is money into a bank. So, a drug dealer who has money going into his pocket is more of a businessman than someone with a registered trade logo and an accountant and all this garbage who ain't getting paid. You own a business if you're getting paid. That's what a business is. So please understand this point, because this is a very important point. And this is why this is called the Hustlers University, because you need to understand how to look and approach at a business. So, cash is first. So let me give you an example. I say to people, start a company. How would you start a makeup company? And they go, okay, well, I'd find some makeup and I'd get a logo and I would I'd get a trademark, and then, I'd need stock. Listen to all the things they're mentioning. Find makeup. We're going to have two things. We have things that cost money and things that make money. As a business, your primary concern is always making money. And when people think of how to start a business, all they start thinking about is how to spend money. Oh, I need to find a makeup brand. I find some makeup and test it out, and then get a logo and get some labels made and get a warehouse and get a website and spend. Where's the money in? Where's the money? This is a business. Where's the fucking money? You're talking about spending money. I'm talking about making money. So as a hustler, you always have to be about making money. Money in is a business, not money out. The amount of people I've spoke to who said, I have a business. I go, what have you got? Oh, I've got this, and I've got a registered trademark, and I own this. And I know you've all watched Dragon's Den, and you think this shit's important with your registered trademark, and you own this, and you got the logo, and you got the labels, and you got the product, and you got blah, blah, blah. You're not making any money. No one's paying you. It's not a business if no one pays you. It's a business when people are paying you. Until then, it's circle jerk bullshit. It is much better to have this right and this wrong. Understand me. It's much better to have this right and this wrong than the other way around. That is extremely important for you to understand. If I had to start a makeup brand, I would do none of this. Zero. Do you know what I'd do? I'd make a website with makeup on it and prices, and I'd start advertising. Bang. Now I'm making money. I'm getting orders. I don't have any makeup. I don't have a warehouse. I ain't got a logo. I ain't got a trademark logo. I ain't got nothing, but I'm making money. With money, you can fix the problems. So when I've got money in my bank, then I email everyone, the product you've ordered, the one you're interested in is in such high demand that we're sold out. There'll be a slight delay in delivery of your product, but don't worry, we're going to give you one for free. Or we're going to give you a free gift. Thanks for being a valued customer. Now this person's going to wait. They're like, free gift? Okay, I'll chill, I'll wait. Now you have 3 or 4 weeks to find some fucking makeup to put in the fucking mail. But at least you got money. You got money in the bank. You spent none of your own money, or hardly any. You got money coming in. And now you got to find a way to fulfill the orders. That goes back to business lesson number 1, speed. Now you got to quickly find some makeup, find a logo, stick it on, put it in the fucking mail. But doing that makes more sense than this. What if you do all this shit and then you try and advertise and no one buys? Then you've lost. If we do it my way, I advertise, no one buys, I ain't lost anything. Big whoop. Who cares? No one wants my makeup. Oh well, good thing I don't have 500 boxes of it sitting in my fucking bedroom. Like you dorks. A business is money in. When you want to start a business, your number one concern is, how do I get money in? Nothing else. Everyone who starts a business starts talking about everything else. We need an office. Why do you need an office? No one's paid you yet. And you're talking about an office? I need a new laptop. Why? No one's paid you yet. You're talking about a laptop? You don't need anything until people start giving you money. Money in is a business. Money out is vanity. It's very easy for me to think of a business, buy an office, buy laptops, hire staff, get an accountant, sort out the tax records, register the company online, get business cards, get a logo and get that trademarked. And I'm doing all this shit. I'm spending all this money, wasting all this time, and no one's paid me anything. It ain't a business. When you come at me with a business plan, my first question is, where's the money? When you want to start a business, the first question is, where's the money? How are you going to get paid? Is it PayPal? Is it Stripe? Is it Bitcoin? How are you going to get paid? How can people pay you? And how are you going to convince them to do that? How are you going to convince them to pay you? When you've worked that out, you can work the rest out. A business is money in, nothing else. That's lesson number 2, and that is extremely important because it's going to save you a bunch of fuck-ups in the future. This leads on to idea number 3. The third lesson you're going to learn in business is super important. I've kind of covered it when I discussed 2, but this is very important. Start ideas for free. People come to me all the time, Andrew, I have an idea for a business. Maybe you need a small investment. It's normal. Let's say you're developing an app, you need to invest in the app, something. That happens. But a lot of people ask for insane amounts of money. 50 grand, 100 grand, 200 grand. Oh, to start my business. You can start businesses very, very cheaply if you do it the right way. Let's look at our beautiful demonstration, our beautiful diagram here of our makeup company. If you start a makeup company this way, you need minimum 200 grand. You need an office, you need logos, you need trademarks, you need stock, you need staff, you need company incorporation, you need tax, you need accountants, you need advertising budgets. You need 200 grand, 200K to start this business. If you start business this way, make a website, put some pictures on there, pretend you've got a whole bunch of stuff you ain't got, and start getting money in, you can start this business for 5 grand. Let's say for the website, 5 grand. That's 195 grand difference. Now, the problem with this business is you're going to start getting money in and you're not going to have any way to fulfill the orders. But back to business lesson number 1, because you're a fast worker, because you're industrious, because you work with speed, you'll find a way to fulfill the orders. Hey, listen, worst case, you give them the money back. Worst case, you refund them. But at least with this idea, you can test the viability of your plan, 1. And 2, you're not in the hole. So let's assume both companies are bound to fail. Here you've lost 5 grand. Here you've lost 200 grand. Why risk all that money when you can do it cheap? Also, with 5 grand startups, you can now, for the same price as starting one company, you can now start 40 companies. One of them's going to work because they're 5 grand each to start. One of them's going to work. So you have to learn that the idea of starting a business is not expensive. Get that out of your head. I'm a millionaire, a multimillionaire, and I will not spend more than 5 grand launching a company. 5 grand max. I'll spend 5 grand, and if I see money coming in, maybe I'll invest some more. Or when the money starts coming into the makeup company, you might reinvest all the money. That's fine, because that ain't your money. That's money you're making. You can build a company off the money you're bringing in from the company and never spend your own money. That's how you launch a company. Now, every time I say this, people go to me, oh, well, what about this? What about that? If you're going to launch a fucking airplane company and try and compete with Boeing, you need money, obviously. But I'm talking about for you guys out there, this is the Hustlers University. If you're looking at making money, starting a new company, or you already have a small company, some of the biggest mistakes you can make is investing lots of money. When you're broke, it's hard to make mistakes because you don't have any money to lose. When you're rich, it's easy to make mistakes because you have a lot of money to lose. Start companies as cheaply as possible, basically for free, by prioritizing money in and not prioritizing fulfillment. That way, you get to start companies cheap, you can start a lot of them, you have money coming in the door, and you can reinvest money you're making in your company and build your company from the ground up. Every company I ever made, including T2 Television, was done this way. When I got my first deal for T2 Television, I had a BlackBerry and a business card. And I went to their office and I signed the deal. I had a business bank account that was free. No tax incorporation, nothing. They paid me and I used that money to buy an office. Done. I started a television advertising agency like this. I didn't get an office first. Office, staff, computers, desks. I didn't have any money. I had the 12 grand from the commission, but I was saving that for myself in case it all went wrong. I could have blown my whole 12 grand and set up the office. But no, I bought a laptop. I had a laptop. I bought a BlackBerry, had a business card, landed my first deal, and set up my whole business off of money already coming in. And if you can do that with an advertising agency, you can do that with nearly anything. This is television advertising. This is like premier shit back in 13, 14 years ago, before the internet was big almost. Everyone wanted to be on TV. That's how you start companies. I started an advertising company with a fucking BlackBerry. This is how. This allows you to start more businesses and allows you to see what's viable and what's going to make money and what isn't without risk. It's extremely important you approach businesses this way and not businesses this way. It is extremely important. Get this in your head. These first 3 lessons about speed, about money in being priority over everything else, and about starting businesses with this focus as opposed to the cost focus, money in as opposed to fulfillment, that's good. I've already taught you more than you're going to learn about business anywhere else. That's key, because if you do things this way, it's very hard to have a monumental fuck up. It's very hard to lose money. And also, now you can start nearly any company. You can start nearly any business. Give me a business. Name something completely random.
A record label?
A record label. You want to start a record label. So, record label, what do you have? You have, this is completely on the fly, record label. So, let me wipe my board. This is completely on the fly, unprompted. We're testing my business genius for the Hustlers University. Let me clear my beautiful diagram here. Right, so how does a record label make money? Make. We have make and we have costs. So a record label makes money by selling records, correct? I've never run a record label, so I might be wrong. So you have to sell records. Now, a record label is a digital product, so it's actually harder than makeup, because how can you sell records you don't have? So what I'd be looking to do first thing is test my distribution channels. So, costs, you need to find records you can instantly supply, unlike a makeup company. So you need to find artists which are, I wouldn't say struggling, but there's certainly, you need to go out there and find some artists which don't want money up front. So you need to work out some kind of commission deal with artists and say, look, we're going to give you X amount on the basis of the sales. So you have to find, we're going to put broke boys. Because it doesn't, you know what? At this point, especially with a record label, although you need good quality artists to have a good reputation as a record label, if you have shit ones at the beginning, it doesn't really matter. If you have some shit ones and you sign Rihanna later on, is it going to be like, oh, they have Rihanna now, but 3 years ago they had that crap band no one's heard of? They ain't going to care. It's not going to damage your reputation. So at this point, you can just get broke boys. Get broke boys, offer them a commission deal to make to try and sell records. So let's say we're selling a record for £1. Let's say it's a 50-50 split, 50-50. Now you've got distribution channels. How are you going to sell the records? Where are you going to sell them? Apple Music, Spotify, whatever. You have to test the distribution channels, test them out. Test out an independent distribution channel. So let's say you do all the traditional distribution, traditional stuff. And let's say you want to try and sell some stuff independently. So let's say you start a website or you go on, is MySpace still even a thing for music?
No, what's the other one? SoundCloud or something like that.
Yeah, so there's a few other abstract ways you can try and sell money. You can try and sell records. Let's say through their own website or through SoundCloud, through some of the other ones. You can try some abstract methods. Now here's what I would do. I'm running a record label. I find broke boys. Broke boys agree to go a 50-50 split. I promise to sell loads of records. You have to promise. This is your job. So I promise to sell fucking 100,000 records a month. Some bullshit. I promise. I'd lie. This is what I do all the time. No big deal. 100,000 a month. Easy, easy, easy. I'd get them. I'd put them across all the distribution channels. I'd see how many we sell. If we don't sell any, do you know whose fault it is? The broke boys' fault. I'll come back to them and go, okay, well, yeah, we have 2 of your songs. It's not enough. People don't know who you are. We need to produce some content to raise your profile. I don't know if you guys have any videos of you performing live. We need more music we can put out there. Da, da, da. And I would just continue to extract from the broke boys more videos, more songs, all for free, all based on a commission deal, and just put it out there. Speed, just like we said in number 1. Like I said, I've never run a record label in my life. This has come off the top of my head. Speed. Give me more, give me more, give me more. The more they produce, the more they give you, and the more you put out there, it doesn't matter. If you sell a little bit of each, you're going to start to make money. Look at what we do and what I do, all my different businesses. At this moment, I run CobraTech.com. I have the War Room, which is a business in itself. I have the webcam business. I have 2 YouTube channels. I have casinos. All I do, because it's just speed, scattergun. So in this kind of particular, if you're going to do a record label, you need to have as much as possible video and music that you can afford. And when I say afford, a commission-only deal, just constantly put out there, speed, on every single possible distribution channel. That's what you need to do. Then what you do is, when you have these boys everywhere, broke boys, the broke boy record band, you have them everywhere, and you have tons of their stuff, then you can approach someone who's not shit, or a little bit better. So we have the less broke boys. Less broke, we'll write here. My terrible writing, because I'm writing at an angle. And when you go to the less broke boys, you can say, well, look at the broke boys. We've got them on Spotify, SoundCloud. They're on their own website selling. They're here. They're on iTunes. They're there. Look at this. This is some videos of them performing. Yeah, we use these for promotion. They're on this YouTube channel. They're on that YouTube channel. The less broke boys will be like, oh, these guys, they actually got them a lot of promo. What did you really do? All you did was extract it from these guys. Now the less broke boys might want to work with you. Maybe you don't give them, maybe there's a slightly better commission deal. Maybe they get 60, you get 40. Take their shit. Before you know it, you're going to have a catalog of stuff. So people go, who's this record label? You go, well, bang. And you type any of those bands in, and they flood the internet with things. Now you're a real record label. Now new bands, up-and-coming bands want to work with you. Just because the amount of promo you got, you put them everywhere. One of these up-and-coming bands might be the next big thing. Who knows? All I've done in this business model, I don't know anything about record labels. All I've done is stick to my tenets of business. One, this is free. This is free. This is running a record label from your bedroom. Doing all this is some work on your computer, putting them on iTunes and making a website, whatever. That's all fucking free. Negotiate with the broke boys you can do in a Costa Coffee or a Starbucks. So this is a free business I've just given you. One, it's free. Two, we've prioritized money in. The first thing I wrote is, how do we make the money? How do we make the money? We sell records. Okay, so we need this, we need this, we need this. Prioritize making the money. And the third thing I did was speed, quickly. Get out, get out, get out. Tell the broke boys to make more. Tell the broke boys to start a daily vlog of them recording. A daily vlog of what it's like in the band. Start putting out on a YouTube channel. Speed, 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 more, more, more. Give me content, nonstop. Speed. All I did was stick to my 3 basic business principles. Now, imagine you try this for 6 months and it doesn't work. Have you lost money? No. What did you lose? You didn't have a big fancy office. You didn't lose nothing. What's the worst that can happen? What's the worst that can happen? Nothing. And that is the exact point I'm trying to teach here. If you stick to these 3 tenets in nearly any business, you'll launch it for basically nothing, and nothing can go wrong.